All right, there we go. Wow, okay. Let's start all that over again. Hey, let's pretend like I just clicked the Go Live button, and I'll snip out this front half. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Ham Radio Crash Course. I still made it on time, which is fantastic. But here's what happened. Last night, got everything set up. It was great. Woke up this morning, checked everything's good. I restarted my computer for good measure. And literally 10 minutes ago, all the webcams stopped working. Just all of them gone. Wow. So that was fun. We got it sorted out, though. So we're up and running. We're good. How are you? How are you? I hope very well. So anyway, I am Josh KI6NAZ. This is the Ham Radio Crash Course, and I thank you for clicking on it. I'd love it if you could give me a couple of thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. That helps me out a lot. Helps out the channel. Helps people, helps the YouTubes know that this is good quality content that people should be looking at. So appreciate it. All right, so we got the chat room going. Everybody got a lively chat already. Appreciate everybody hopping in. So let's flip things over here because we're almost out of time. So here we go. Back to me again. Hey, everybody. I freaked out for a second because the camera didn't pop right in. So I am Josh KI6NAZ. Back to a regular Josh live stream. I'm just going to be chilling with you guys today talking about ham radio. And that's what we like to do here. This channel, the community we built, is about pushing forward, moving forward with ham radio, trying to create a space where questions can be asked. We'll hopefully come up with the answers, and we can kind of have fun, find new and interesting things, talk about them, do some cool things like that. Toys are for boys. Thank you very much for the super chat. Here's 666 in Canadian to keep the evil away from your airwaves. Oh boy, I'll mention that right up front. I was on Callum's chat before. I hope you all were too. And he said, there was some QRM. There was somebody actively actively jamming his channel. And he was saying, don't worry, we're going to DF them so nobody talk about it. Or talk when he was transmitting. Don't key up. And I was like, wow, how are they doing that? Turns out the Kiwi SDR, online SDRs that you can get, there is a direction finding feature that they've added. And I got to play with it for the last 30 minutes or so before I did the live stream. And I am infatuated with it. I didn't plan for the episode to be that today. We're obviously going to keep going with hotspots and all that, but the after chat, I'm going to be talking about it, and we're going to do a live DF. I think I'm going to try transmitting, get picked up on the SDRs, and see if they can track me down, which I think that's awesome. Ham Radio Dude, $7.77. Here's for luck, no evil. Thank you very much. I needed that on my computer today. All right, so a couple of news stories to talk about, just a couple of things. The YouTube has introduced a new feature called Chapters, so at the end of all these videos, JD is one of the people who've been commenting with timestamps. I can now integrate those timestamps into my stream, so you'll see chapter markers if you're watching this after the fact, after it being live. Wow, I'm very excited about that. That's a fantastic thing. It shows up as little tick marks, and you can jump to segments of the show. That way you don't, for those of you that, not everybody likes the live streams because I just kind of yammer, but they want to get to the meat of it. Well, if we do if we get to chapters, you can go directly to the chapter you're looking for, which is awesome. There has been a ARRL COVID-19 Field Day update, and I wanted to mention it. So let me pull this up really quick. Where is it? That's not what I wanted. Here we go. Okay. Oop, wrong one. Where's the web? We lost the web. That's not it. What happened to the web? We got a super chat in the meantime, too. Who sent the super chat? Nick Smith, not going to lie, just buy beer. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Where did I lose? There it is. So, everything's falling apart, and that's literally because of what happened when I got started. But we'll flip this over really quickly. Easy, easy. There we go. And there we go. Very good. Very good. Very good. Sorry about that. Okay. So the changes to Field Day are basically we're going to be able to operate from our homes, not on emergency power this year, is one of the updates, which is pretty cool. I'll make sure that I put the link in the description for all of that. So Field Day, likely, I'm going to be operating from in my shack. I'm going to be operating like this, streaming live, and I'll probably go for as long as I can Field Day this year, which is, I think, great news. Hopefully, I'll have a new antenna to transmit into. That's kind of a challenge for me. I'll have to get that done before then. Very good. All right, what else? The State of the Hobby survey is still going on. This is kind of like your last couple of days to take it. I think it's incredibly valuable. The link is in the description for the State of the Hobby survey. I think it's incredibly valuable information once it's done, and we will have the creator of the survey on the show when the results come out. So, think about filling it out if you have not. I have, and it is good for us. Got another super chat from, oh my goodness, P.O. Bear HD. Filomeno Boy 199. Yerp. Thanks. Appreciate it very much. All right, back to me. So other than that, what are we talking about today? Well, we're going to talk about hotspots, and we have specifically the openSPOT3 that I want to talk about, and I'll show you what that looks like right here. Here we go. We're going to set it up. We're going to go through some of the functionality of it. If you are not already, go to hrcc.link. It's a website. Bring that up, and you can join our digital talk groups. I will be going to the digital talk groups at some point during the video today, so if you want to be in on that, go figure that out now. All right. But first, I want to do a bit of an introduction. And this is going to be kind of high level because it's going to cover some things that I think some misconceptions people have. Not just about hotspots, but kind of digital altogether. So let's just walk through these. I don't have many of them. Like I said, we're just going to have fun today. This is the first time I haven't been interviewing anyone for the last 3 weeks. So I'm happy to just be here, have a fun little show with you all watching. I appreciate it. Okay, so what are hotspots? Hotspots' primary job is to take in your RF coming out of your radio in some kind of digital mode. Yaesu System Fusion, DMR, D-Star, NXDN, P25, etc. It then decodes it, pulls the digital information out, and basically sends it out over the internet to interface with digital modes or digital networks like Brandmeister, Yaesu System Fusion, again, all the names I've mentioned. And so that's what gives you the ability to kind of interface with people that are across the world because they're internet-linked devices. The hotspot is linked to the internet, and it's getting your connection through the internet, basically. The radio is still the radio, right? It's still, the RF chain is still your radio talking to the hotspot. So what does that look like? Brian Garber, thank you very much for the super chat. So what does that look like? So I'm going to walk through kind of common ways we communicate, right? Ways we use radios and walk up to what hotspots do. And hopefully it will make sense at the end, but I will be watching the comments and hopefully, we can answer them as they come. So simplex comms, right? You just have a radio, your buddy's got a radio, and you're going to use FM or DMR or Yaesu System Fusion or D-Star. Yes, you don't need a repeater. You don't need a hotspot to do simplex digital modes. In fact, they sound fantastic. So that is always an option. You can always do that. And as Jason, Ham Radio 2.0, has recommended in the past, it's a lot of fun. And if you haven't done it already, you should, because it is cool. If you have a friend who's got a mobile radio, in this case, a Doomsday Bunker iron or metal shipping crate that they've repurposed into their ham shack. On 50 watts radio, you can get about 20 miles into your handy-talkie, depending on the elevation and what's in between the two things. But guess what? Still simplex. You can use FM, analog, or you can use digital like DMR, Yaesu System Fusion, D-Star, etc. Right? So you get the idea, right? You can communicate simplex, etc., etc. But what else happens? Well, now you got a repeater. What is a repeater? Well, a repeater is just kind of like your buddy's shipping crate, except it's on top of a mountain. And guess what? You can still do simplex, digital, DMR, Yaesu System Fusion, or D-Star. It just depends on what the configuration is of the stations, what radios they're running, etc. Right? So hopefully this is all making sense. Matthias Luciano Rialfo. Thank you very much for the super chat. Oh, from Argentina. Great. Thank you. Your buddy is now, he's on the other side of the mountain. You can see that little tiny stick man there. He's talking to you via the repeater, right? It's a two-way call. You key up the repeater, talk. It's also transmitting at the same time on another frequency, and everybody listening to that frequency will hear you talking. Repeaters can be used for local comms. You can do it. You don't have to have internet, right? It can be a DMR repeater, and everybody that's listening on that frequency will hear DMR or be able to transmit DMR, etc. Right? So where does this kind of get somewhat confusing? Well, when we add the internet. So you're still RF from your handy-talkie to the repeater, except now there's a gateway connection from the repeater to the internet. So if your club runs a DMR radio that has a gateway link into the internet, that's how you're likely getting the internet-connected talk groups like California or World or TAC 310 or wherever it is, right? So when you hop onto Yaesu System Fusion and you get into like America Link via a reflector, that's an internet-connected, networked chat room basically that you're connected to. Our HRCC talk groups and chat rooms and everything are all internet interconnected, right? So you can be on DMR and you can talk to someone that's on Yaesu System Fusion and etc. It's via using hardware like hotspots to transfer the data back and forth. So hopefully this is all making sense because I'm trying to take my time and really explain it. But the key thing to remember here is RF is most of this game, right? Whether it's simplex or to your buddy with a 50-watt radio, that's still simplex. If you're going to a repeater, that's a retransmission. You're transmitting in, and it's simultaneously transmitting out, giving you a wider footprint, right? But then you connect it to the internet, and then what do you get? You get now interconnected repeaters, and that kind of looks like this. So it doesn't have to be DMR necessarily. This could be Echolink. This could be an All-Star node. This could be Yaesu System Fusion, right? You get the idea. All of these repeaters are connecting to the internet. We're doing what we're doing right now via the internet. So that's your gateway to the world, if you will. So what if you don't have a buddy with a radio or a 50-watt transmitter or a repeater that all does digital? Well, you can use a hotspot, and that's what this is. A hotspot is just replacing the repeater that has a gateway connection. So you just have your hotspot, you talk to it with your handy-talkie. Again, it is transferring, if you will, decoding the RF data, getting that digital data out of it, that information, and sending it out onto the internet. And it's in the appropriate format for the given mode or talk group system or whatever, like Brandmeister, that will handle it, broker it, and transmit it where it needs to go. Good Game Ham Radio and Outdoors says, but is digital radio real ham radio? Well, yeah, so let me go back. I'll go all the way back here. Oh, I'm going too far. Up until the point that you get the internet, this is just all RF. It doesn't matter if it's simplex, FM, analog, DMR, P25, Yaesu System Fusion. You're still just going person to person via radio. So yeah, absolutely. In fact, there's really good reasons to use digital modes, even for simplex. Analog, FM, kind of tapers off the further you get away from the transmitting station. Digital kind of keeps its peak and then just falls out. You start to get like, it's like clipping, right? It's like, you'd say, Josh, your microphone's screwed up, right? That kind of thing. So there's a lot of good reasons to use digital. It kind of reminds me of the difference between like a salt lead acid battery, sodium lead acid battery, or like a lithium ion battery or lithium polymer battery. Those SLED batteries, as they call them, sealed lead acid batteries, they kind of just gradually die, versus the lithium batteries will keep for a really long time and then fall off. Well, it's the same kind of thing with digital, All right, so that's what that looks like. So now you get a hotspot, and there's the internet again, and it's connected to the internet. So what does that look like? Yes, of course. Yeah, Good Game Ham Radio. I know you were joking, buddy. But it's a really great question because it comes up all the time. So hopefully I answered it. Well, what does it look like on the internet? It looks just like this. All the hotspots are connected, along with the repeaters, along with everything else. You know, that's it, right? It's now just using the hotspot to get to the internet. Before it was your repeater, now it's your hotspot. The advantage of using a hotspot, I don't know if I have a slide that covers this, but you own the hotspot. You do whatever you want with it. You can use any modes you want. You can talk on any talk groups you want. You can use any configuration you want. No one can tell you what to do. On a repeater, particularly one you don't own, specifically one you don't own, there is Evan says $2.99 for art lessons. Thank you. I don't know that I'll do that because this seems to work. It's not great, but it works. So I'll be fine. But I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. That's great. You have complete control of everything. So hotspots are incredibly useful for people who only have a radio, like, you know, an FT3DR, for instance, but want to talk on DMR, right? What do? Well, you need a hotspot to do that. I did this all in an app called Procreate. Don't you love Procreate? Procreate. What a name for an app. Way to go. But Procreate is a very good app. So what is a hotspot? Generally, it's some kind of RF to digital converter. That's your top piece. It's a hat, usually, that sits on top of a Raspberry Pi Zero. And then below that is a single board computer of some kind. Raspberry Pis are used a lot, and that's generally what you see when you are using a hotspot, when you're building one. The other thing it can do, and I kind of already tipped my hat to it a little bit, is they are universal translators for digital modes. So not only is it kind of like your own personal repeater to get to the internet, but it... Did I not make a slide for that? I guess I didn't. I left some images off. Oh well. Key point here is it's a internet-connected device that allows you to translate modes between like DMR to D-Star, or Yaesu System Fusion to D-Star, or Yaesu System Fusion to DMR, or DMR to Yaesu System Fusion, and back and forth. So instead of having like one radio per digital mode, a DMR radio, a Yaesu System Fusion repeater, and a D-Star, not repeater, device radio, you would only need a hotspot and whatever radio you like most. I happen to use the FT3DR the most, and I can just interoperate between those modes as I need to, which is great. Now, I will mention this right up front. If you are curious on what hotspots I recommend, there are 3. And the openSPOT3 is a new one to make this list, and we're going to talk about why. But we are talking about the PNW spot. It's actually made by Ethan, the admin on the Discord. He builds it, he sets it up for you, and he ships it. And it is a great deal for what he's charging. So he told me he doesn't have a lot of these left. So if you're interested, you know, I'm just letting you know it's a good quality product. I also like the Zoom spots. I've done a video review on a Zoom spot. Keynote on the price on the HRO website. That does not include a case. You likely want a case if you're going to do a hotspot. And then the new contender in the list of hotspots that I've had my hands on is the openSPOT3, which is very interesting for a number of reasons, which we're going to talk about here shortly. But it's that's it right there, that white thing. Yeah, it's kind of I'm hesitant to say revolutionary, but it's revolutionary. It's very good. Downside though is it's $280, so it's not cheap. It's not cheap. It looks like a garage remote, my wife says. It does. I agree. Okay. And kind of last note, the thing that's kind of cool about hotspots is you can keep them with you, and you can use it on the go if you have some kind of access to internet. So if you have like a jetpack device, a internet hotspot, or just use your phone in tethering mode, you can get on the air via your hotspot. So when there are no repeaters around, you can have access. But I agree, it's not truly ham radio kind of when it gets to the internet portion of it. But it's still a lot of fun. So, all right. So that's kind of all the slides I have, believe it or not, because we're really not here to talk about slides. We're here to talk about the openSPOT3. Okay, so the openSPOT3 is a hotspot like we just covered. It has some interesting features that kind of go above and beyond what you would expect. And in fact, why is that? There we go. Let me go back to the website. So it supports DMR D-Star System Fusion, which is C4FM, NXDN P25 POXAG for you pager folks, and APRS messaging. It has a built-in battery with 10 hours of operation, and it does built-in hardware transcoding for the best voice quality and cross-mode operations. The important part with this, which I think is kind of the game changer on this, is it will... Normally, DMR is will interoperate with Yaesu System Fusion. Hotspots have been able to do that for a really long time, but it hasn't been able to do D-Star. This does. Jim Benno, does it support Wires X interactivity? No. So I know I did a live stream on the FT3DR a couple of weeks ago, and there was somebody who was very passionate that Pi-Stars does Wires X. It does not. What's happening... Pi-Star is a hotspot software. What's happening is when you're using the Wires X mode on the FT3DR into your Pi-Star or ZoomSpot or whatever, the Pi-Star is pretending to be Wires X, but you're still just going through Yaesu System Fusion reflectors. That's why you can get on America Link, because there is a Yaesu System Fusion reflector. But a lot of reflectors or a lot of Wires X chat rooms are not accessible through Pi-Star. So no, you can't do Wires X in the Yaesu traditional format where you have actual Wires X software running on a laptop that's connected to a radio like an FT3DR or an FTM100 or an FTM400 or an FTM300 now, or using an HRI 200, which is a intermediary between your radio and your computer. So Wires X is, yeah. James Hannibal, do all those hotspots support Yaesu System Fusion? And do they have the use of pre-existing talk groups, or is it easy to create? No. So, yes and no. Yeah. So, all the hotspots support Yaesu System Fusion. However, if you want like an HRCC talk group, that would come through one of the networks that is out there. So like HRCC's is off of Brandmeister, right? So that's a kind of a different thing. That has nothing to do with the hotspot. The hotspot's just brokering you the connection with that system, if you will. All right. So this is very, very interesting what I'm going to go into here for. Let's go ahead and set it up. So this is the first thing. I want to point this out. I just went on their website, right, and I got their manual. I have to explain this because it was so shocking to me when it happened. I think I had this thing set up and running, and I was talking on my radio in 5 minutes. I'm not going to try and race to do that right now, but it is extremely easy to set up. For those of you who've set up Pi-Star before, this is like the antithesis of that. So anyway, let's see. So this is kind of what you see when you start it up. I'm going to start this guy up right now. I'm going to let it come up to speed. And literally, it's got animated GIFs that say flashing white, blah, blah, blah. Zach says, HRCC DMR is off of Brandmeister. Yaesu System Fusion and Wires X is a host by Ethan, our admin, who sells the hotspots, in his house or on a VPS in Cali. So there you go. Thank you, Ethan, not only for creating your hotspot, but for handling the Yaesu System Fusion and Wires X, which works great. Yeah, Facebook user. Facebook user just says Facebook user. It doesn't actually say their name. That's interesting. Anyway, Facebook user is right. It does not. It does not. You need an extra PC to make it work, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But I'm gonna try something over here really quick. 1 second, please. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Cool. that works too. I was just pulling up another version of the chat room. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the setup here. So what you're gonna do, and I can't do this on the live. I'm gonna screen share my iPhone in a second here, but I can't do that because I'm gonna have to go connect to the actual Wi-Fi. So this is the first thing you need to do is you need to join a Wi-Fi called openSPOT3 AP, and you need to go to that that URL. So that's what I'm gonna show you on the overhead desk here. So let's move over here for a second, shall we? Taking the mic with me, I'm not forgetting. Oh yeah, this new mic stand is awesome. Very good. Okay, cool. Okay, so we are going to first join. So there's the openSPOT3 AP. Whoop. We are now joined. And I'm going to go to 192, what was it? 168.168.99.1. Okay. We are now opening the openSPOT3. Okay, so we're in the United States. Blam. So it's going to want to connect to Wi-Fi. I'm going to do that right now off camera, if you don't mind. Okay. And then it's going to knock itself off because it's trying to join the Wi-Fi. Okie dokie. So now we should see a color change if we did this right, which it might not have. Oh, maybe it's not. Okay, cool. A successful connection to the Wi-Fi network is indicated by an alternating green, yellow, or green status LED on the openSPOT3, which means the null connector is active and the device is connected to the Wi-Fi network. Okay, so let's go back over here. Follow me, microphone buddy. Okay. Here we go. So now what does it say to do? When it says to go back to the web here, that's what it tells me to do. All right, so now we're going to open the SharkRF link, blamity blam, and there we go. I will do this actually on my phone again because you do need to use the, what is it, Shark. SharkRF.link. Yeah, so now I'm gonna use my phone's camera. I guess I do need to go back to the overhead Seri. Thought I was done with that. That's it. That's it, old boy. Let's see if we can refresh this now. No, not yet. May have to still do it on my phone. And I can show you what that looks like right here, hopefully. No. Okay, good. Did this take care of it? Hold on, I need to get this going. You gotta love it when things completely die on you, because then you you lose the capability that you had. Where's my lonely screen? That's what this is called, this app I use. Let's see if that works. There we go. Me. Sorry about that. I want to get this right, so. There, I'm back. And now let's fix the iPad. Why isn't it letting me do it now? Oh, it's so frustrating when stuff doesn't work. That's not it, right? Sorry about this. That is not it. You get everything working and then it just... There it is. Finally. All right, back in business. Took a second to find it. Okay. Okay, so now we are setting this up for the first time. Got it. So I'm going to enter in my call sign, KI6NAZ. I'm not going to do my DMR. Oh, it already knows it because it looks it up. Yeah. Holy Mindless says 5 minutes when you're not trying to live broadcast or set up. That's right. So we're going to turn on C4FM. And we're going to make the frequency just leave it default, 433.90. We're going to use a Yaesu System Fusion reflector. We're going to go to the HRCC link, which is, get out of here. Come on, buddy. Can I just do HRCC? You can! You just click it. And you click connect. And that's it. We're done. So now I am connected. So hopefully if I did this right, I should just be able to... Everybody realized it's working. So that's it. I'm done. I'm done. Let me show you what it looks like on the website. So this is now on the actual my computer now that it's set up. And so K8MRD in the house, W4TLA, I heard. That is Justin? I think that's Justin. Yeah, that's it. We're done. We can end the stream. No, we're going to play around a little bit more. Let's see what happens when I do this. Is it gonna...
4TLA.
Yeah.
Everybody on HRCC.
So now we are listening to the website, playing the audio output. Justin's got a little bit of a digital problem.
KN4 ZBS. Monitoring.
And so we are done.
ZBS, how are you doing tonight?
So if you had an interest in getting a hotspot that was as painless... No, that's my mom trying... Sorry, Mom. Hey, I had a mic moment. My mom just tried to call me. But I had my phone muted.
K2TJK, first time using my Zoom spot.
I'm gonna give a shout out. This is Kilo India 6, November Alpha Zulu. Bit of an echo. I am live streaming this right now.
Hopefully you're enjoying this setup of the openSPOT3. Kilo India 6, November Alpha Zulu.
for TLA. Absolutely, it is sweet. Oh, good evening to you. Watching you live on YouTube. You're 5'9" over YouTube. What's looking good on here, Josh? Crystal clear.
So very good.
In 5 SKT monitor.
In fact, as a YouTube streamer, I can just turn the audio on and be like, Mark Wempler, very good idea. Save your pennies and get one of these. It is expensive. I'm not going to lie, but it does have a lot of values. So I'm going to mute you all for a second.
On TV, idiot.
I'm going to mute everybody for a second. We'll get back to them later. So another thing that's pretty, oh, what is this? Uh-oh, it's going to try and update on me. I don't want to do that right now. So the other thing that's kind of cool is you can have these different configurations, which is down here on the bottom. Profile 1. Why isn't it showing me? There it is. There we go. So you got my mouse cursor down on the lower left-hand side. You can have 5 different configurations. So if we go to 2, it's going to reboot with this different configuration. There's no one there yet. We're going to set it up right now. It's going to ask me for my call sign again and all that good stuff. Yeah, it auto updates, but Single Cab Steve says terrible audio quality. That's likely more to do with my end, and it sounds pretty good on my end. Oh, of course, we have to do dark mode too. You have the option to do dark mode, but I know this isn't going to come through good on video, so I'm going to leave it white for now. I'm going to do my call sign again. Okay, 6NAZ. My DMR ID gets already set up, so we're just going to do that right now. We are going to set up DMR. We are going to leave it for 143900, and we are going to do, let's see, select the network server type to continue. I wanted to do, I think it's DMR Mark. I may have to switch that, but that's okay. We can adjust it as we go. But if you wanted to do DMR, a DMR radio into Yaesu System Fusion to get on HRCC, that's what this YSF reflector would be. However, we'll just go to DMR Mark for right now, and if I need to change it, I will. Interesting. I didn't realize. No, maybe we don't want to do that. Let's see about Brandmeister. This is kind of the first time I'm playing with DMR, so. Nismore says, you can almost buy an FT3DR for the price of this. Yeah, it's no joke. It's expensive. Yeah. Let's just do the reflector. That's going to be the easiest one. So HRCC, again. And why am I doing this? Well, I'm going to grab my DMR radio right now. Okay. DMR radio. Do you need some type of digital radio to connect, or will it connect based on frequency? You have to have a digital radio. You have to have DMR or Yaesu System Fusion or D-Star to get in on it. And you've got to have something to connect to. I'm going to mute myself for a second. I'm going to see if I can, well, let's see if I can key this up first. Nope, that's the wrong one. I need to be on my group. I mean my zone. Okay, see if this works. Did it work? I don't think it worked. Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu, testing on the HRCC talk group.
I'm sorry, you had a lot of clear on, mate.
I'm not sure if I made
Sounding
it.
good, Josh.
Yeah, did I make it through? It's not showing my call sign.
It's not showing my call sign.
Oh, I did. Okay.
KVC, you're coming through on the
Now, hold on.
This is Kilo November 4, Zulu Bravo Sierra. You're coming through, but you're coming through with your DMR number, not your call sign.
Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu, got it. I muted my mic for a second to see if the audio is a bit better. It sounds pretty good. I think so. What do you guys think on YouTube?
I think the audio sounds fine. Not as good as the short SM7B, but... Oh, yeah, so it's showing up as my DMR call sign instead of my actual Yaesu name, so...
Kilo India 6 Alpha Zulu November 38 EHT. Yeah, I'm not seeing you. I see a KE7BUX when you key up.
I'm going to mute myself again.
Reason is I'm coming in for my DMR ID instead of my call sign, which I don't know why it's not linked, but I'll sort that out later. Oh, it's because it's DMR through Yaesu System Fusion. That's why it's a reflector.
So I'm cheesing it a bit, right? I'm using DMR to Yaesu System Fusion.
Yeah, so it's popping up Ethan's call sign because that's who links us to came up the other person's
That makes sense.
call sign based on ID. If you're doing it to DMR to YSF, it falls back to whoever can decode, which have been Ethan's.
Mm-hmm. I would like to point out that the audio quality is incredibly high on this radio. This is really good. Voices from everywhere, lol. Good pick on the phone. Thank you. It's animated too. So yeah, again, I'm gonna transmit into my hotspot. You're gonna hear the audio that the hotspot's hearing again through this 87.
This is again doing an audio test. This is the Anytone 878. I think it sounds fantastic. Yeah.
I don't want to uncheck the speaker. I want you to hear it. That's
Yeah, the
why
audio
it's
quality
on.
of the Anytone is outstanding. W4TI.
Some nice audio quality on that. Beautiful. WDA DHC here.
Okay, there you go. So that's off now. Okay, so let's change that up a bit. Let's say we don't want to do it that way. Yeah, we want to do that then. This is the wrong place. Get out of here. Is it advanced mode? There we go. DMR. I'm gonna pull this off for a second. So let me see if I can set my password on here, so it doesn't freak out. So far, I mean, can you imagine, for those of you who set up a Pi-Star before, can you imagine how much faster that is? Very quick. Very, very quick. Aha, that's why. Say that again. Server address field is empty. Oh. Okay, let's change that up. Let me show you what I did here. So
tricky. I mean, I've got an 878 and I like it, but
now I gotta mute the freaking insane speakers on this thing. Okay, sorry about that. So what I did was, in fact, I'll just do it again to show you how easy it is. So DMR, we want to go to Brandmeister because that's where the HRCC is. I'm just going to connect to United States. That's my DMR ID. I don't have a password set, but, you know, whatever. Don't set a password. And I want to go to 31621 just by default, but you can change this because it's DMR later, and just hit connect. And that's it. So we're good. So now you can unclick.
And it's more like, if I want to John.
I'll let them talk. So I was gonna hop in. So this is over DMR now. Let me do a test.
If I want to do a private call with him over, DMR, Brad, I have to go program it into the.
Sorry about that. What? There we go. That was weird. I don't know. OBS is having problems. I unclicked it. It moved away, but it didn't update. So anyway, we're back on. Sorry about that. I was just saying. I gotta get Justin. Take a breath here. Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu. Am I making it? I don't know what's going on now. The wonders of streaming. Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu. Am I making it to the talk group?
Yeah, that's Roger. You sound really good now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Josh, you're sounding good. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is the 878 through DMR on the hotspot. The audio quality I think is going to be the same, but I just wanted to show that you can set it up both ways.
Also on an Anytone 878.
Do me a favor. Somebody send me a text message over Brandmeister. I want to see if it works. Maybe it doesn't, but I want to see if it works. Does it work that way? I thought so. Quick call, manager, SMS chat. Yeah, send me a DMR SMS chat. Ah, thank you, Mike. My highly sensitive Shure SM7B is having a bit of interference. Sorry about that. Yeah, for sure. This thing I can't transmit next to a microphone of this quality and not have a problem. Sorry about that. Apologize. I'll go back. Somebody send me a message. I know Zach can. I can move back to Fusion. I have 2 radios going, and I... Bop. Yeah, this is... Again, I'm...
Hey, send me give your DMR ID over there.
Where is it on here? I'd like to just be able to show it on the screen. Ooh, bit error rate too, yeah.
Call sign ending in EHT. Your mic's a little hot.
Yeah, you are a little hot, Justin. I mean, your mic. Let's just look at it really fast again. Brandmeister, my call sign is 110. Sorry, my DMR ID is 1107758. Braggy Ray Nissen. Greetings from Iceland. Hey, thank you for the super chat. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So I don't know if SMS is working, but it's okay if people can't get it figured out. I can go to likes to stop working though. I'm gonna go back to Yaesu. I'm just gonna click on the little thing down the lower left, and I'm gonna go back to default 1. Change profile. And boom, it connected right up on my FT3. Zach Hoopkowitz is saying wants to get started on ham radio. Go to my channel and go on the top playlist. Are you new to ham radio? Take a look. Oh, I killed the audio somehow. I can't play the audio out. Weird. Let's do... Oh, but it's not playing over the radio or the website. So let me try again.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is working.
I see you a text in a couple formats you might want to check.
Well, I guess I was wrong in assuming that there is a chat for Yaesu System Fusion.
Yeah,
There's not. Is his bit error rate? Justin, your bit error rate or something is through the roof. You're really distorted. I don't know what it is. I don't even know if he's watching the stream.
Justin, are you coming over DMR? I'll send you a text message over DMR.
Oh, over DMR. Back to DMR. You can change that fast.
It's breaking up. It's just not. I mean, it's not that it's breaking up. It's that you're like. It's like you have something caught in your throat.
You're overloading the mic, is what it sounds like, Justin.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't have that problem normally. Normally people tell me about it. I'm having an issue. Thanks for telling me about it, though. Yeah, maybe it's something with the openSPOT3 going bad or something.
Maybe back off of the mouse a little bit.
Yeah, this will auto update. So as long as it's connected to the internet, it'll pull down updates.
Like when the phone cuts out because you're too modulated into the microphone.
I don't have any messages.
Hi, Bruce.
So that's my number. SMS me maybe.
Well, this DHD, I've lowered my more. I had to do this on the FT2.
Okay, I'm Justin. Help me, guys. Send me an SMS. We're not here to troubleshoot Justin. You do have. Let's see. That's pretty cool, though. I do like the layout of this whole thing. Huh. So somebody says it was successful, but I didn't get a message, so maybe it doesn't work that great yet. Send to modem private. Yeah, that's for sending though. Send messages to source ID. Ooh. I guess I could forward all my I guess I could forward my POXAG messages on my pager to my DMR ID. If you want to receive messages from the network on DMR and forward them to POXAG, enter handle messages to the source ID. So the received. I might have to try that. Let's see. Tresha? Is it Tresha? Tresha Ruth? Josh, can you recommend a resource to practice listening to CW? Yeah, Morse Machine.
They have a DMR room for that, so.
Okay, Justin, man. Yeah, Morse Machine. Also just get on the radio and listen. There's a CW contest right now. Okay, well, SMS is not working, so that's a bummer. I am going to turn on the call-in if anybody wants to call in. Do I have a call-in? Where's my call-in? See, everything got blown up. I lost a lot of my stuff. That's frustrating. Okay. With that said, I'm going to fill up my beer. Oh, and merch with my logo on it is on its way. So very good. Be right back. Going to fill up my beer. I like my glass. My wife made it. It's very nice. I have stickers, I have glasses, I have shirts and hoodies and steins. At least that's the idea. So, Justin! We got another Justin calling in. Justin, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? Nice, very nice stream on all the features of the openSPOT3. I highly recommend it to anybody over anything else that's out there. It's awesome.
Right on. I agree. It's very cool. It's expensive, though. I think that's its barrier to entry.
Yeah. Yes, it was very expensive.
Yeah.
Only issue that I've had with this, and they have a 1-year warranty on it, so I'm going to send it in, is when I'm walking around with it, I don't know if maybe a connection came loose in there or something, but it just randomly turns off, and it's got nothing to do with the battery.
Really?
If you shake yours a little bit, you can hear something kind of moving around in there. It's the battery or maybe the board or something.
Well, I'm not going to shake it because mine is actually on loan to me from the Wyoming Ham.
Oh,
so thank you, Wyoming Ham, again for all the support. Wyoming Ham has actually let me borrow his openSPOT. He let me borrow his FT3DR before I had my own. Absolute awesome dude. He just, I think whenever he buys stuff, he just has it shipped to my house, and then I handle it. And then I send it to him.
Another pro tip I can give, I've never had any issue besides that one little thing, and it's maybe it's because it's been in my backpack or I carry it around in my pocket and etc. But I use a glasses case. If you have a hard shell glasses case, you can put your openSPOT3 in there and shut the lid on it and drop it in your backpack or wherever. Works great. 90% of the time I use this now. I love this little thing.
Yeah, it seems really cool. Again, I didn't really give it a good once over here. Keep talking, and I'll get the call-ins listed here as well. I'm gonna physically lay hands on this thing. So, yeah, I'm holding it. And this is it. It's a great size. Got a little lanyard hole.
Get working on it. The lanyard hole, I've never used that. I've never used that once.
Have you done the D-Star to DMR or Yaesu System Fusion on it yet?
No, I have not. I don't have a D-Star radio. I've done. Are you saying System Fusion to D-Star or using a D-Star radio to go into System Fusion?
No, you can actually. So my understanding with this is that you can go from Yaesu System Fusion to D-Star and DMR to D-Star.
Yes,
and back and forth.
I've used System Fusion to D-Star, and it works great. It's a little confusing and a little tricky to get it working. There's a repeater here in town that somebody put up, and I think I've gotten into it. There's a website you can go to, but first thing you need to do is go to the D-Star site where you register for, as an ID. I can probably drop that in HRCC later.
Justin,
Discord.
what's your DMR ID number?
My DMR ID?
Yeah.
Hang on here.
I'm gonna sign. I think if everybody paused for a minute and didn't key up the radio, I might be able to get a DMR message. But I'll send one to you really quick. What's your number?
313-8231. 313-8231. That's what it says for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just sent it.
Like
It literally looks like a chat message. 313-8231. I'll show it on the phone here.
You know what's funny is that used to be my area code of all things, and I just 231 was my area code for the state of Michigan.
Oh, said it failed.
Okay, Josh, go to group. Set it for network and then group. And here I'll just send hi. When I sent it to group, it said it worked. ETSI group SMS sent.
Okay, so I changed it to group and it sent.
Yeah, did you get the hi from me?
No. Should I leave it on modem or network?
I can't set mine to modem. It's just set to network.
And what about handle messages to from source ID? Do I leave that unchecked?
Handle messages. I think this is for POXSAG.
Okay.
If you want to receive messages from the network on DMR SMS page or forward to POXSAG, enable handle message. Oh, so you have to actually. So receive SMS radios. So it's saying it won't be sent to your radio if you don't check that. All right,
check.
Let me
okay.
try another one.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so I just sent a hi all to the whole group. Let's see if everybody got it.
Sending ETSI SMS to network.
Oh, hey, we
got
it. 1958 John Deere 620 said, for all you techs out there, 10 meters is wide open. So, yeah, if you're interested in doing FT8, it might be a good time to get on 10 meters. Oh, you got it, Justin?
20 meters is wide open. It was about around 6, and I worked a special event station. What is it? It was on 14.
Did you get the message?
Yeah, I did get it. Yeah. K2H/GEN 14325 or something. Yeah, did you get mine? I just sent you. Did you get this?
No, I didn't.
Hang on. It's flashing on and off. Maybe in another video you can show people how to do. Oh, it says SMS send failed. Okay.
Try again.
Are you still on group? What's your setting? Network,
I have it on group, but I changed send to network instead of modem. But anyway, I don't.
Send to net. Okay. All right. I'm on network. Did you get this? ETMS I group SMS on it says now. Okay. I just got your other hello just now.
Okay.
So the settings it seems is yep, I got one at 2103. Hey there, this is Justin saying hello from Michigan. All right. That one come through?
Nope. It's okay. I'm sure I can get it working offline, but
that's the first time I've been able to get it working. The private calls and stuff kind of work like this. So interesting. First time for everything, I guess.
Yeah, I won't worry about it now. I'm just surprised how quickly I got it up and running. So in the course of less than an hour, we were able to get connected on a DMR radio and a Yaesu System Fusion radio without any issue. And I haven't played with it yet, but you can take your Yaesu System Fusion or DMR radio, and you can also go to D-Star with that. Or if you had a D-Star radio, you could do the same thing back the other direction. Fantastic! Justin, I got somebody else that wants to call in, so I'm gonna. He's been waiting, or they've been waiting for a little bit. So let me let you go here. And do you have anything else you want to say?
All right. I was just gonna say it took me when I set mine up just from out of the box to opening it up, setting it up on Wi-Fi. Took me about 10 minutes, and I was on the radio with it. So
Pretty fantastic.
okay.
All right, I'll
Yep.
talk to you later.
73s, Jess.
Bye.
Mhm.
All right. Hey, first time caller. What's your name?
Hi, Josh. This is Jake.
Jake.
Call sign Whiskey 5 Tango X-Ray X-Ray.
Excellent. How's it going?
5 TXX. I was just giving you a call to let you know whenever you were doing the Yaesu, whenever you keyed up on the Yaesu, you actually keyed up with somebody else's call sign in the Hotspot interface.
Let me explain why. So Ethan is the person that's hosting our Yaesu system reflector and our Wires X room through his computer. So when we're connecting via a hotspot to his reflector, it's using his call sign for updating the information. So that's why it shows up like that.
Interesting. Okay. That's all I had.
That was it? I
That's
think it was
man.
mentioned in the chat
And,
room. Okay.
Yeah, I've been watching your videos for a long time. You actually were the person that inspired me to go ahead and get my license.
Awesome.
So I got licensed back in April. So
Congratulations. So you did it in the time of COVID too. You tested online?
well, funny thing is, March 24th, I was on my way to take my test and called before I left, and they said, "Sorry, we just made the decision to cancel all tests." So I searched around, and online testing became a thing, and I was going to do that, and then I found a local club and actually went and got my test done at a local club.
Oh, okay.
Doing the social distancing testing.
Very good. Well, proud of you. Congratulations on that. That's awesome, and I'm glad that you found amateur radio, not just through me, but just I'm glad you found it in general because it's a wonderful hobby with so many interesting things. I mean, like this is just one tiny little thing that I don't use digital voice that often, aside from hop on the old HRCC talk group and talk around for a little while. But there's so many things like this. It's just so much fun. And when we get done with the stream today, we're going to go into the after chat on Discord, and I'm going to talk about direction finding using online, like, networked SDRs to find out where, like, jammers and people are online. It's so cool. I'm so jazzed to talk about that. But man,
and I've actually become like a digital junkie for radio. So I own a 578 and an 878 and a 9600. So I'm kind of a DMR junkie.
Right on, right on. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Well, Jake, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Have a good night, sir.
All right, you too. Take it easy. All right. We can pretty much wrap it up because, like I said, we're going to go to the after chat. To follow along with the after chat, there's a couple ways to do that. One, join the Discord. Link is in the description. And you can go to our live stream chat room, which is down the left-hand side. There's a text room and a voice chat room. Join both. Just click on them. And I will be live streaming to Twitch under the Ham Radio, twitch.com/Ham Radio Crash Course for the after chat. Ethan, you know what? We're going to go straight to the horse's mouth on what's going on here. Ethan, explain yourself, sir.
Hey, explain myself. So yeah, I actually wanted to explain that. Normally that actually works fine.
Yes.
Normally there's a translation file on the server that gets uploaded nightly that goes, when someone talks on the Yaesu System Fusion side of things, it gets their call sign because that's what YSF sends. And it goes, okay, whose DMR ID is that? It attaches that, and then the DMR folks see the right information, and then vice versa. For some reason, when you're on your openSPOT3 doing the DMR to YSF conversion within the openSPOT3, it's sending your DMR ID as if it's your call sign. And so it doesn't know what to do with that because it's expecting your actual call sign.
Oh, copy.
If that makes any sense at all.
Well, we're kind of twisting things a bit, right? We're using Yaesu System Fusion to get to DMR and vice versa, so.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
So you're also the
but
creator
yeah.
of the PNW spot, right?
Sure, I guess I could call myself a creator.
Yeah, you're a creator. You do the
yeah,
work, man.
so-
You're putting the work in.
Yeah, honestly, it was something where I actually kind of fell in love with just building them. It was just a fun project. And when I was first getting started, I knew that I was really confused at most of the details going around out there. There's a lot of hotspots out there that people are just selling them and they don't really explain what it is. And maybe they say it's just something magical that works great, or it's the best thing since sliced bread, or whatever. They don't really understand what it is. And I was like, you know, I could, initially it was actually just to fund the purchases of the gear needed for the HRCC link. Initially I was like, hey, let me just charge for a little bit of a profit, more or less just the couple hours of time it takes to build it. And then use that money to pay for some of the gear to make the HRCC link work. And that's kind of where it all started. It's still nothing really major. I build them in batches of about 10 or so at a time and sell them off to people who want them, and order more when more people are interested. And yeah, it's just kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah, well, that's very, very cool. I think it's, well, I think they're cool to begin with. They're cool little devices, and it's good that you've got something that's, well, you've probably got like the best price considering the quality of equipment you use. Oh, Fred Romeo in the chat is blowing it up with the super chat stickers and everything. Fred, thank you very much. I appreciate the support as always. Thank you to everybody. But yeah, super cool. Thanks. I like calling it the Pwn spot myself, Ethan. I know it's a PNW, but
I feel like I missed an opportunity there. Because that's what everyone else calls it too, because they don't get the Pacific Northwest reference there. They just assume that it's like owning all the other hotspots or whatever.
That's it. Right on. Do you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, that's pretty much it. Good stream.
Cool. Thank you very much. All right, you have a good one. I'll talk to you in the after chat if you're able to stick around.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks.
All right, see ya. All right. Thank you, Ethan, for hopping on and explaining what was going on. I was freebooting or bootlegging Ethan's call sign. And that's why you still use your call sign in case, you know, stuff like that does happen. Yes, we have systems that help us out when we use things like digital, but you still should use your call sign, and you should still follow the rules of, you know, at the end of every transmission or every 10 minutes or so. All right. I think that's about good enough. We're going to go ahead and wrap her up a bit here. Again, I will be doing the after chat, and we're going to be having a lot of fun with that. I really want to spend some more time with this DFing. I'm actually going to try and DF myself and see how accurate it is, because I know where I'm at. I'm going to transmit into my amp on 20 meters into my beam, and I'm going to see if they can pick me up. Very cool. All right, well, I hope that was interesting to everybody. I hope that was fun. But I do want to give a big shout out to my patrons. Thank you for the support. We will be doing patron picks next week, which I haven't actually looked at what's going to win that. I should do that right now, shouldn't I? Let's just pull it up. I believe the poll ended. I let the patrons once a month pick what the topic is going to be. And so I gave a bunch of options, which we had a ton of really good recommendations also on the Patreon side. It looks like... Oh, 7 days left. That's not right. I got to fix that. That should have ended today. I'll make it to set tomorrow. But we have a dead heat between... Almost dead heat. Like a three-way dead heat with shack grounding, mobile VHF, UHF, and HF setups and tips, specifically for mobile installations, small space and attic antennas, and there's also an introduction to HF that has been asked for. So those are leading the pack, which we'll be talking about next week. But big thank you to my patrons: AD6DM Dennis, Andy, Kenny, Andy Crowley, Andrew Crowley, Barbara Schrock, Bill McCarty, Bill Wiggers, Bob Adams, Brad Brackeny, I think it is, William Huster, Brad Dow, Brad Snyder, Corey Appleby, Daniel Sullivan, David Burns, David Dansero, David Gerald, Dennis Dunderdale, Zach Baker, Dennis Mickelson, George B. Hedge, Elias Brewer, Evan Hartman, FN 5.7 by 28, Franklin Lewis, Garrett Larson, Harald Kelso, Good Game, Ham Radio and Outdoors, The Grimace, Herb Bracington, Hercules, KC1LZR, IC904, Jace Ravenfield, Jake Mall, Wyoming Ham. Thank you again, buddy. I appreciate you letting me borrow that openSPOT3. I'll probably put one in my my wish list, to the short list of hotspots that I'm probably going to end up purchasing for a myriad of reasons. You can never have just one hotspot. That's what I didn't tell you in the video. You're probably going to end up with more than one. They seem to collect themselves. Jace Ravenfield, Jake Mall, Wyoming Ham. Again, Wyoming Ham, thank you. James Garner, James Tartamella, Jason Brown, Jason Jenkins, Jason Legg, Harald Carpenter, Jerry Williams, Jim B. Oh, there's a blank there. I think I'm supposed to fix that. John Flowers, John Genzel, John Miller, John Molnar, Jonathan Williams, Jonathan York, Justin Yost? I think that's it. Wesley Magyar, Ken Hall, Kenny Miyamoto, Kevin Adams, Christopher Keener, Lee Harrell, Mark Chase, Mossy, I believe last name's Madi, right on, Matt Y, Dragetshevish, Michael Hunt, Michael Iafredo, Michael Simonis, Michael Brennick, Mike Heerly, Monvel Maskew. Oh, I'm supposed to fix this too. Guys, got so busy this week, man. Nothing stopped for me. Nothing stopped. I still have all the things I've got to do. COVID-19 didn't slow me down. That's KN4JFK, I believe. Mystic Storm, Nick Smith, Tom Wright, Philip Castile Jr., Rundle Hinsley, Raymond Cracker, Richard Swartz, Rob K8BCR, Rob Zarges, Robert, Roman Toledo, Todd Agostini, Ron Thorson, Scott, KN6IHC, Sean Bales, KJ7ITX, Simon Deards, VK3, FSPD, Stephen Carduz, Stephen Hunter, Stephen Blandford, Stephen Baker, and the Tan Hat. And everyone I just mentioned, keep an eye on your mailboxes. I am sending some stuff out. Well, one thing in particular. So, all right, guys, I will leave it at that. Thank you so much again for watching. I would appreciate it if you gave me that thumbs up as we wrap things up here. I'm going to head over to the Discord for the after chat. Please consider subscribing because I do a live stream every Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I would be grateful if you checked it out. And again, thank you for all the support. That's what makes this whole effort worth it. And appreciate all the activity on the communities we have going. Just been absolutely amazing. So 7 threes until I talk to you again. See ya. Oh, we got a couple of super chat. Christopher Rivas. And Jim Perry, thank you both for the super chats, and thanks everybody for the super chats.